by an illegal alien animal. The Democrats say, please don't call them animals. They're humans. I said, no, they're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals. And Nancy Pelosi told me that. She said, please don't use the word animal, sir, when you're talking about these people. I said, I'll use the word animal because that's what they are.
Donald Trump is a low-life bacterial parasite who'll turn on you in a second and whose family, friends, and colleagues no longer trust. But you knew that. Trump and the Speaker blocked a border bill that would have given Republicans everything they asked for. But Donnie Indictable? Well, he wanted to be able to campaign on these kind of statements.
I'll use the word animal.
But here's the story. On occasion, right-wing media forgets how to hate, how to demean hard-working people who don't share the same skin or language. NewsMax posted the animal story to Twitter with a caption that read, Donald Trump called immigrants in the United States illegally animals and not human in a speech in Michigan, resorting to the degrading rhetoric he has employed time and time again on the campaign trail. Whoa! But this moment of humanity and introspection lasted about as long as a coherent thought in Dairy Queen's brain.
We know that for sure.
The tweet freaked out Newsmax, and they went into damage control, or as you might know it, lying. After they deleted the tweet, Newsmax anchor or reporter Rob Schmidt posted that a low-level social media staffer was responsible for the initial post, which might be the only thing they said, I believe. Newsmax, OAN, and Fox are in with Trump and anything he says or does at a level that goes way beyond politics. They will lie, repeat lies, repost lies, and when all that fails, go to a commercial. Their relationship with the truth is like Trump's with Melania. That is to say, the truth sleeps in another bedroom.
You got it, darling. I'm so proud of my girl.
And here's the danger of words. When Trump called the pandemic
Chinese virus,
people attacked Asians.
You keep calling this the Chinese virus. There are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all. No.
I lived in San Francisco when it happened. I saw it firsthand. When Trump railed on Black Lives Matters, the same thing. His people are like Lord of the Flies, called to commit acts of depravity simply because this bloated pig commands them. And ironically, these little pigs bother me less than the media giants playing into Donnie Indictable's his sick sociopathic sensibilities. Fox's Hannity and Jesse Waters are two little cuckolds who were turning it all over to this bloated tick simply for a paycheck. And the desperation from Newsmax to gain more of Trump's base means exactly what you think. Seeking that sick market share, they will go as low as possible.
I'll use the word animal.
Now, Trump will run on the border despite having blocked the solution, despite the fact that everything he says is pure bullshit.
Two of the most common objections to immigration in the United States are that more immigrants lead to more crime and more people on welfare. But a closer look reveals that these objections are misguided. Native-born Americans are actually far more likely to commit crimes than either legal or illegal immigrants. For every 100,000 native-born Americans, 1,500 are incarcerated for breaking the law. Illegal immigrants are incarcerated at half that rate.
Undocumented commit crimes at a much lower rate than native-born Americans. Now, the numbers aren't as sexy and provocative as this.
I'll use the word animal.
You know, where Trump plays into that depraved bottom of American culture.
The border crisis, which is the top issue across the country. The numbers do not lie. Our country is being invaded right now, right in front of our very eyes because of Joe Biden's catastrophic border policies.
This is very clearly an invasion.
Along with the Sheriff Arpaio's of the world, Trump is an avowed traitorous racist, attacking Americans who were born here but simply don't look like him. As bad as that must be, push comes to shove, if you had to choose to look like somebody, which one would you pick?
We cannot allow this border crisis to continue. We cannot allow fentanyl to flood across our border, our criminals to waltz in undeterred.
And speaking of crime, it's down every day since Trump left office. And no, this isn't MSNBC hype. Even Fox, like Newsmax, occasionally slips up and lets the truth come out.
Certainly, it's good advice to Democrats. Listen, the president had all major police chiefs to the White House just last month. Violent crime is across the board down in most major cities, and that's something we need to talk about, certainly, as Democrats. The highest jump in the homicide rate, the murder rate in this country annually happened in the last year of the Trump administration. It didn't happen in any of the Biden years over these last 3 years. So, again, the president is running on his record. Donald Trump is a different situation than 2016, has a record he's got to defend as well.
Trump is campaigning on two basic lies. Number one, he will keep illegals out, which is not true. He talks about the wall like it's his penis, but neither one ever went up. Number two, Trump says they're all murderers, but that's just not true either. You can't say one murder by an Hispanic means they're all bad any more than every cop is Derek Chauvin. Speaking of which, as Trump rails on illegals, how did this mope get into the country?
But she told CNN she came to the U.S. as a Slovenian immigrant in 1996. Even with her husband's central issue being illegal immigration, no one from the Trump campaign has provided any record of how Melania Trump obtained legal status here.
When Trump was banned from Twitter before this adolescent prick took over, Trump had to invent his own social media to spread his BS. And while his speech is protected, his recent comments about judges and prosecutors' families show what a pathetic coward he is.
Donald Trump commented for the first time since a new expanded gag order was placed on him in the New York criminal trial. The order now includes family members of the judge and the prosecutors. Why? Because Trump had been attacking the daughter of Judge Juan Merchan online.
Now, there are some conservatives in the House and the Senate who've had enough of Trump's threats and the Matt Gaetz of the world, and they decided to say, F this, I'm gone.
Really, we're at a time in American politics that I am not going to lie on behalf of my presidential candidate, on behalf of my party.
Just yesterday in an interview, you said fundamentally there's a choice to be made. You can't be both for Donald Trump and for the Constitution. You have to choose.
Yeah.
A vote for Donald Trump is unconstitutional, anti-American.
Well, he won't support and uphold the Constitution.
Here's the conservative senator who authored the bill the GOP House defeated.
Are we as Republicans going to have press conferences and complain the border's bad and then intentionally leave it open? Are we going to just complain about things, or are we going to actually address and to change as many things as we can?
But at the end of the day, Trump is still here, as well as his violent and sick rhetoric. Like a lot of you, I hear Trump, but what bothers me more is the laughter and applause.
Because that's what they are.
I know I'm not wrong, so I can't help but wonder what events led to this abyss, this cultural petri dish of humanity. When you call someone an animal, that means they cease to be a human, and it makes it easier to harm them. Trump uses his code words to subjugate women, minorities, and religious groups that don't fit into his white Christian agenda. You will excuse me, however, if I point out that the people he calls animals are also Catholics who rarely divorce and value family.
Biden's DOJ treated Catholics like terrorists. If you were a practicing Catholic, you were a domestic terrorist. If you bought a Bible, you were marked by your banks, and that information was given to said FBI and DOJ.
I'll use the word animal.
For the record, humans are animals as well, and like the abused dog, they have limits as to what they can endure.
No, they're not humans.
Trump's threats to detain, deport, and abuse both undocumented and anyone with brown or black skin will eventually come home to roost. That's not a threat, but a promise that one day the animals will turn on Trump, and I, as an animal, well, guess which side I'll be on.
Who's with me? I'm just getting warmed up.
Time to pack it up.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Am I wrong?
Damn right.
Yes. Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
Follow, like, and please subscribe to Really American, where we keep you up to date on the latest Republican cult lie in this very important year. Hey, and make sure you join us as a member on Patreon, where we can connect directly with you and enable us to expand, make more videos, and hire more hosts. Can't do it without you. For Really American,
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.